Hey guys, did you miss me? It's been that period of the summer where I've just been super busy doing non-YouTube stuff and haven't had time to make any content. I wish I could say I've had a holiday, but I have not. Uh, so, in 2004, Browning launched a new shotgun into the marketplace, which was like nothing anybody had ever seen before. New action design, uh, completely new design, head to foot. To be honest, I mean this thing was like a race car. It looked like nothing else that was on the market at the time, which was really cool. First time I saw one, I wanted one immediately. It looked superb. It looked really, really space age, black plastic, sleek lines, new kind of, just looked the business. It looked like a space shotgun. Unfortunately, time was not kind to the design. The Hog's back wasn't that popular. Of course, I'm talking about the Synergy. The Hog's back wasn't super popular. The balance was pretty awful, and there was no balance weights solution for it. It didn't have an adjustable comb, and the action design, because it had such large bearing surfaces, had a tendency, without meticulous care, to wear itself out to the point where it was worn very quickly. One good thing it did have was a really clever recoil pad that sucked all the recoil out of that very light and very direct material. Plastic doesn't have any give in it. It doesn't absorb recoil. It just transmits it. And the recoil pad design on the Synergy was very good. However, it didn't do too well. Fast forward 20 years, and Browning have launched this, the 525 Composite. A gun that you would hope would be informed by the lessons of the past. And unfortunately, I think Browning have missed the mark somewhat with this gun. And it is a bloody shame because, like the earlier gun, it is a very pretty thing. That action design is gorgeous. That three-pointed star, repeated geometric pattern all over the fences, on the bottom, on the trigger guard, and then the nice sort of very, very clean 525 logo. It's lovely. There are loads of little nice, keen design elements in here. The Browning logo is inset in the rubber on the grip cap here. The JM Browning signature in the forend, and then the lat long coordinates of his workshop in the forend iron. This stippling pattern that's inset in here, laser cut, generally speaking, as a piece of design, this thing looks great. With the possible exception of the forend, I think this slab-sided forend just looks a little bit awkward by comparison to the rest of the gun, which is ever so sleek. I think this is just a little bit of a misstep, but honestly, this is just me as a design geek. The actual ergo is fine. The lack of a finger choil, I don't know. It does feel slab-sided in the hand, but the rubber material feels really good. It's nice and grippy. Similarly, this grip is covered with the same material, and again, it feels well in the hand. Tell you what, let's do oily bits, and then I will tell you about my shooting impressions and various other opinions. 30 or 32-inch barrels, backboard 18.7, 3-inch chamber. We've got an 8mm non-tapered game rib with ventilated rib with a game front bead, steel, ventilated mid-rib, superior steel proofed. The gun all in weighs 7.5 pounds. Standard LOP is 15 and 3/4. Sorry, 14 and 3/4. 5 Invector Plus chokes. The action itself is standard 525. All the controls are as you would expect. Inertia trigger. Yeah, it's a 525 with a plastic dress on, let's face it. Everything works as you would expect. There's no surprises here at all. The stock is very sporty. It's a 4365 drop, which is very flat. and I would need to jack that comb up, which is of course adjustable. A lesson learned. They put an adjustable comb on. The problem, and it's the standard adjustable comb that you get on Brownings with a single Allen screw adjustable. However, the edges of the comb are really quite sharp, and when this is jacked up to the right height for me, I find that the comb is actually scratching me. You can feel it quite pronouncedly on your cheek. The grip design is actually great. It's nice and raked, so it's a very kind of sporty, kind of gamey feel. It's not like that kind of pronounced grip that you get on a sporter. It's much more raked, much more kind of dynamic for that different kind of types of shot that you're going to take with this kind of gun. It's very much a field gun. It's not a clear gun. The actual dimensions of it are quite unusual. It's almost got like a double-sided palm swell because it's completely straight. There's no cast at all. And it actually works. The feel in the hand is surprisingly good. I kind of expected to kind of hate this grip a little bit, but to be honest, it's absolutely fine. And it works quite well on the gun. The Inflex 2 pad is, again, ubiquitous on Brownings. You can get these in all different sizes. The problem is that the recoil impulse from this thing, because of the plastic stock, which literally transmits everything, and the Inflex pad, I don't think is up to the job. The recoil impulse is like being kicked by a horse. It is dramatic. I started shooting this on the first day, and I had to stop after 50 cartridges. It was unpleasant. I didn't want to shoot it anymore. I had a bruised shoulder. I haven't had a bruised shoulder since I was a kid. But this thing was beating me up. Yeah. It also means that the gun reacts a great deal in recoil in terms of, when you make that first shot, the gun is pushing you around, and it makes a recovery shot, if you miss with the first one, I find quite difficult. That is a problem. That and the fact that the balance is very, very barrel heavy, and the gun does not come with balance weights. I feel like that is such a misstep. It comes with 5 chokes, but no weights. In my opinion, ship it with 3 chokes, ship it with 2 chokes, and give me the weights. Balance the gun out the box and let me decide how I want to balance it, without charging me additional. I think it's about 80 quid. It's not fortunes to get the weights, and you can certainly get them. It just, to me, feels like a bit of a cheap shot to not provide the gun with the weights as standard. Yeah, so balance, recoil are a problem. Handling wise, I kind of get it. The fact that it's barrel heavy actually means that a light gun at 7.5 pounds isn't wandy. Okay, you can draw a line with it, so I get it. I understand. I just think it would be nicer to shoot if it balanced. And because the guns weren't sent to me for review, sorry, the weights weren't sent to me for review, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like improvement actions, rather than, let's not say it's a negative thing. It's not a bad gun, it's just not as good as it could be, right? It could be better. Came with weights. If you spent a little bit of time finishing that comb, yeah, I could take that off. Bit of wet and dry, very, very fine, and just all those edges would be fine. But I shouldn't have to do that. This is a Browning. It's 1,800 quid. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap either. When you look at what else there is out there, if I wanted to buy a field gun, there's other guns out there I could lay hands on that would be just as hard wearing, right? Because this is going to be hard wearing. Don't get me wrong. This material is going to take all the bumps and bashes and be fine. I get it. I get what it's for. It's a field gun. It's just not very nice to shoot. And I'm really sorry about that. But it is what it is. It just feels so out of place, I think, and disappointing when you see how good the 525 laminate is. The 525 laminate is fantastic. The material has great recoil absorption characteristics. It balances beautifully. It shoots great. Arguably, I think the SL is one of the best versions of the 525. And, you know, good God, for similar money, you could have a Sport 1, which I think is actually going to handle nicer. Look, obviously this gun's not for me, and it is a tool, right? I think if this had yellow and black plastic and it had said DeWalt down the side, you'd get that it's a tool. It's very much designed for, you know, rough work, pigeons, corvids, etc., etc. And as such, it's going to get bashed around. I just don't think that means it shouldn't also be nice to shoot. And that's a shame. Guys, I'm sure this is going to cause some ructions and some comments. Let me know what you think. Have you tried one? How did you feel about it? Let me know. Hopefully, we'll be back to a slightly more normal tempo. I do have some other stuff to do this summer, which is going to take me away from the channel, but hopefully we'll get back to a more regular tempo as we get back into the autumn. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.